My dear students, welcome to the most wonderful Shakespearean play, Hamlet. First, with a general summary. Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, is in low spirits because of his father's recent death and also because the hasty marriage between his mother and the new king, his father's brother Claudius. His feelings of depression are strengthened when he learns that the spirit of his father has been seen walking on the battlements of the castle. Hamlet determines to see the spirit for himself, and when he does, the ghost tells him that he was murdered by Claudius, and he urges Hamlet to seek revenge for his foul and most unnatural murder. After his interview with the ghost, Hamlet decides to find proof for his uncle's villainy. He resolves to pretend to be mad, in the hope that people will not realize that he is plotting to kill the king. Polonius had told his daughter Ophelia to have nothing to do with the young prince shortly before Hamlet shows signs of madness, and so he believes that Hamlet's madness derives from his unfulfilled love for Ophelia. Claudius, however, feels that unrequited love is not the full explanation for Hamlet's behavior. A group of actors visit the castle, and Hamlet decides to use them in order to find out the truth of the ghost's claims. He arranges for the actors to reenact his father's murder, and Claudius' reactions convince Hamlet of his uncle's guilt. Hamlet again determines to kill the king, but finding Claudius at prayer, he delays his vengeance and goes instead to visit his mother. Hamlet shows his mother how shameful her behavior has been, and pleads with her not to live as Claudius' wife. Polonius has been hiding behind the curtain listening to the conversation between Gertrude and her son. When he moves, Hamlet kills him, thinking him to be the king. After the play, which Hamlet had arranged, Claudius realizes that his crime has been discovered, and when he hears of the death of Polonius, he recognizes that Hamlet is a threat to his life. Accordingly, Claudius arranges to send Hamlet to England on a diplomatic mission, but in reality with a letter to the King of England requesting that Hamlet be put to death. Hamlet finds the letter and replaces his name with the names of his traveling companions. Shortly after this, the ship is attacked by pirates. Hamlet is taken a prisoner, but the pirates agree to put Hamlet ashore again in Denmark in return for a favor which he is able to do for them. In the meantime, Ophelia has gone mad with grief and drowned herself, and her brother Laertes has returned from France, vowing that Hamlet is responsible for both deaths, and offers to show Laertes how he can punish Hamlet. Claudius persuades Laertes to challenge Hamlet. The king's plan that Hamlet will use a blunted sword while Laertes uses an unblunted one. To make even surer of Hamlet's death, Laertes decides to put poison on the tip of unblunted sword, and Claudius promises that he will poison some wine and give it to Hamlet in the course of the duel. During the duel, Laertes wounds Hamlet with the poisoned sword, but during that, both swords are dropped and Hamlet picks up the poisoned sword and wounds Laertes with it. Gertrude asks for a wine during the contest and dies after drinking from the goblet that Claudius had prepared for Hamlet. Before he dies, Laertes confesses the plot that he and Claudius had hatched, and Hamlet stabs Claudius with the poisoned sword. Now Hamlet is dying. Horatio wants to kill himself for his best friend Hamlet, but Horatio must live to explain the story to the people who don't understand all the circumstances of the events leading up to his death. As he dies, Hamlet names Fortinbras, Prince of Norway, as his successor to the throne of Denmark.